All right, guys, let's look at question 11. So it says, graph the solutions of the linear inequality. So looking at this equation, y is greater than negative 1x minus 3. I need to go ahead and identify the key characteristics of this equation so that I can graph it. So if y is greater than and equal to, greater than means I'm going to shade above, okay? And then because there is a bar underneath this inequality symbol, that means equal to. So I know I'm going to have a solid line. Okay, now to graph it, I need to first identify my y-intercept, which is going to be negative 3. So my y-intercept is negative 3. So on my y-axis, I need to go down 1, 2, 3 and put a point right here. This is my y-intercept. And then my slope being negative 1, that's the same thing as negative 1 over 1. So that means I can go down 1 and to the right 1. Okay, so down 1 to the right 1. Okay, and if you want to just write that down, the negative 1 means go down 1. And then the 1 on the bottom means go to the right 1. Because it's positive. Okay, and I'll just move this a little bit. There we go. Okay, so negative 1 means go down 1, and then the positive 1 on the bottom means go to the right 1. So that's how I got these points. Now again, I'm going to draw a solid line because y is equal to, that's what the little bar means. So I'm going to try to draw this as straight as I can. Okay, now I have my line, and I need to shade above. So with my highlighter, I'm going to shade all of this above the line. All right, now we're done. Let's go ahead and look at problem number 12. So problem number 12, you have $30 to spend at the hardware store. Each hammer costs $10 and each wrench costs $5, okay? Write and graph a linear inequality that represents this situation. Let x represent the number of hammers and y represent the number of wrenches you can buy. Okay, so they already tell us that x is going to be hammers and y is going to be wrenches. So if I have $10 for each hammer and $5 for each wrench, and I can spend $30, then what I buy needs to be either less than or equal to 30. Now to graph this, I'm going to go ahead and write this in slope-intercept form. And remember, slope-intercept form is when I have y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to rewrite this by subtracting 10x on both sides. And now when I do that, I get 5y is equal to negative 10x plus 30. All right, now I need to just solve for y, and y is being multiplied by 5, so I'm going to divide both sides by 5. Okay, and when I do that, I'm going to get y, or actually I'll type it just so it's a little bit neater. I'm going to get y is equal to negative 10 divided by 5 becomes negative 2, so I have negative 2x, and then 30 divided by 5 is 6, so plus 6. All right, now from this equation, I just need to identify my y-intercept, which is my b. So I can write my y-intercept is going to be 6. You know what, guys? I'm sorry. Instead of writing this equal sign here, I actually meant to write the less than or equal to. And that's going to be important in a minute. Okay, so let me go ahead and put my y-intercept on my y-axis at +6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so right here. And then my slope, the number in front of x, is going to be -2/1. Okay, so this is my slope. So -2/1, that means I'm going to go down 2, because negative means go down, right? I'm going to go down 2 and to the right 1. So I go down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1. And now I just have to decide, am I going to do a solid or a dashed line? Okay, so because y is equal to this symbol right here, means I'm going to do a solid line. And then because y is less than, I'm also going to shade below. All right. I'm going to try to make a straight line here. Okay, and now I just have to go ahead and shade below. I'm going to shade all of this down here. All right, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and look at number 13. Now for number 13, it says which point below is not a part of the solution set. So I have these points right here. In my first point, I have 1, 1. So on my x-axis, I have 1, and on my y-axis, I have 1. And that's how I get this point right here. And it's in the shaded region, so it's going to be a part of the solution set. The next point I have is going to be 5, -2. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on my x-axis, and then down 2, 1, 2 on my y-axis. So I get this point right here. And that's also in the shaded region, so it is a solution. But my next 2 points, -4, 0, that's not in my shaded region. And then 0, -4 is also not in the shaded region. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight these, that those were not in the shaded region. All right, let's go to look at number 14. A teacher needs to buy a combination of at least 40 erasers and pencils for all their students. Now this key word right here, at least, if you want to pause your screen and write these notes down, at least means that we have greater than or equal to, okay? So the pencils plus the erasers need to be greater than or equal to 40. Walmart sells erasers for 50 cents per eraser, so I got 0.5x, and $1 per pack of pencils, so I got 1y. What combination of pencils and erasers can the teacher buy with only having $45? Okay, so what she buys needs to be less than or equal to $45. And I define my variables, x is erasers and y is, or instead what I want to say is the number of erasers she can buy and the number of packs of pencils. All right, now we're not going to be able to use elimination or substitution method for this inequality or system of inequalities because our inequality symbols are, one is greater than and one is less than. So we're going to have to graph this. And when you guys take your benchmark, we're going to give you guys graph paper. But just so you guys can see this one quickly, I'm going to graph it on Desmo. So I have x plus y is greater than or equal to 40. So I have, okay, and what I want to do is I'm going to use this button down here. So I have x plus y needs to be greater than or equal to 40. And if I zoom out of my graph, I'll be able to see that. And then my next inequality is going to be 0.5x plus 1Y. That's $1 for each pack of pencil. And that all has to be less than or equal to $45. So now I just want to look at some of these points on the benchmark review. So you either have 20 erasers and 40 pencils, which would be 20, 40, which would only be in the red shaded area. Or I could have 20 erasers and 30 packs of pencils. So that would be 20, 30. And there is right in the purple section, so that's in the overlapping shaded region, so I know that's going to be a solution for both of the inequalities. So the correct answer will be B. All right, let's go ahead and look at number 15. So a coach sells short sleeve shirts for $10 and long sleeve shirts for $15. They believe that at least 20 short sleeve shirts will be sold and more than 7 long sleeve shirts will be sold. If they want to make at least $500, which system of inequalities best determines the number of short sleeve shirts and long sleeve shirts? So little s is going to be short sleeve shirts, and then L is going to be long sleeve shirts. So if I look at this this first inequality, it says they believe at least 20 short sleeve shirts will be sold. So at least or no more than means greater than or equal to. So I'm going to get S is greater than or equal to 20, and that'll be A, C, or D. And then I have, they're going to sell no more than 7 long sleeve shirts. So more than is going to just be greater than, so that can be C. Long sleeve shirts is greater than 7. And then the very last inequality we get is if they want to make at least $500, so we need to have at least, which is again greater than or equal to, and then the 10 short sleeve shirts plus the 15 long sleeve shirts is going to be greater than or equal to $500. And so then the correct answer is going to be C, because that's the only answer that matches all 3 inequalities.